Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Cyberwall's webinar. My name is Angela Allen. I'm the CEO of my Cyberwall, and today the webinar is for educators in school licenses that have accounts with my Cyberwall. And today it's all about how to assign work to your learners. So you're going to be in schools that have learner accounts, and you want to assign work for them to complete at home, in the classroom, at school, or at any time, at any place, you can set them work to do. So this webinar is worth 5 SACE points. So if you want to gain those SACE points, just email me your ID and your SACE number. We're going to be about 30 minutes today, and you'll know and understand and be able to assign work to your learners after this session. We are going to look at also all the different types of exercises on my Cyberwall. You assign them all in the same way, but we are going to recap on the manual marking and the automatically marked exercises. Hopefully by this time you will have been using my Cyberwall, and you also should have attended the introduction to my Cyberwall webinar. If you haven't, you will find a recording of that on YouTube. So you'll find that assigning work on my Cyberwall is extremely quick and easy. It will literally take you about 30 seconds. It's really going to help your planning, apart from saving time. We do have educators on my Cyberwall that will assign work for their classes for the whole term. So everything is done up front. They're so organized. And you're going to do this when you want to get the learners' marks. If you set an assignment and you want to gather all of their marks, if you want them to all complete work at the same time, if you have a deadline like an assessment, for example, at a certain time, you can assign it just before the time, and they will then complete the assessment live, and you'll be able to gather their marks. It's really important that any learners that you assign work for or your classes are linked to you. If you're not sure about that, please just chat to the school administrator in your school and make sure your learners are linked to you. And also when you get new learners joining in term 2 or 3, that they also get linked. Otherwise, they're not going to get the work that you assign to them. So I'm going to log in, and I'm going to turn my screen, and I'm going to demonstrate to you. And at the end, we'll see if there's any questions. Okay, so let's start. So I am going to share my screen with you, and we'll get going. And we're going to be about 25, 30 minutes. I'm just going to log into my Cyberwall, and then we'll start. I'm not going to go through the whole procedure of doing this. You should know how to do this by now. You should feel comfortable and confident with using my Cyberwall. So we're going to log in, and let's just start off. I'm logging into an educator's account. I'm going to go into my account for now, and later on we'll go into a learner's account and see what the assignments look like from the learner's perspective. So you'll see I'm in my account, which is an educator account, and let's go through the different types of exercises, and we're going to assign them to start off with. So we're going to assign all the automatically marked exercises to our class. So let's start with, I've got a list here that I want to assign: history, grade 4. So the first one I'm going to assign is on transport on land. Again, I'm not doing the navigation with you because you should know that by now, how to get around the subjects and the grades. But what we're going to do is assign the exercises. So the exercises appear under the contents. And let's have a look at this first one here. This is a crossword puzzle. Obviously, it's really important to get your learners to be reading the instructions carefully. And obviously, they look at the clues here and they type in the answers to the clues. So to assign it, you see this calendar on the top right of the exercise. Just click on that, and let's set all of these for the 23rd of, no, let's do it for the 29th of February. So the 29th of February, 24, I've set the date from my calendar. I'm going to set it for my 4A class, and I'm going to make this homework. I'm not going to write the descriptions in for now, but you can put a short description in there to give an instruction to your learners. I'm going to press next for now. It's just for time. The next screen here is the exercise details. You don't need to do anything here. It's just telling you what you're assigning. It's pre-populated, so you click next, and then the scoring comes up. With the automatically marked exercises, Every question or every answer block is worth 1 point. You don't need to change the scoring here at all. It will automatically convert to a percentage. So all you do is press next here. And then you can give this exercise or this assignment more than one chance of one attempt. So let's just give it 2. Okay, so you're giving 2 attempts here and you save. Okay, before I do the next one, just to make clear as well, your learners can practice these exercises as much as they like without you assigning them. So they can build their confidence by practicing the exercises. We'll go to a learner's account shortly and we'll have a look at how they can see their answers so they know what's correct and incorrect. And you'll also be able to see the correct and incorrect answers. Okay, let's just assign another one while we're here. So this is true or false, very straightforward, true, false, and let's assign it. It's exactly the same. I'm going to just quickly do this. So we said we're going to just do all of these to the 29th. It's a leap year. Okay, 4A again, make sure that you can see your classes on this one here. If your class doesn't appear, it means you haven't been linked. So that's very important. And then I'm going to make this homework as well. I'm going to leave the description next, leave that screen next. You don't need to do it again next. And let's leave this at 1 attempt, save. Okay, so I've done 2 so far, done a crossword puzzle and a true and false. Let me just check that I know that I have assigned them. So I'm just going to quickly go to my calendar and just check that I've got them there. So I'm going to look on the 29th and you can see here that I have assigned 2 history assignments. And the details are, if I click on them, and the learner's going to see the same thing. So the history is in brown, and you can see that there's 2 being assigned for the day. Let's assign some more, and let's discuss the different types of exercises as we're doing that. So back to transport on land, and I'm going to do another type. So we did the crossword, we did the true or false. Let's do the missing word, which is exercise 4. Okay, this one again will automatically mark, and what the learner has to do is either type or they can copy and paste the answer into the answer blocks here. They must follow the instruction carefully. So this one says use the same casing as giving in the table. So if, for example, they put hi all in capitals, although the answer is correct, they're going to be marked as incorrect. So there's only one correct way. They must enter the answers. If you're not sure about what they should do, remember, at the bottom of each exercise in your account, you have the exercise which you can download and print. I'll just show you that now. And you've got the memo, which is the answer sheet. So let's just quickly download the exercise so you can see what that looks like if you wanted to do a paper version, but you can download that as well and just show it on the screen if you didn't have an internet connection, for example. So this one is just the exercise, which is the blank exercise. I'll just make it a bit bigger when it comes up. Okay, if it's taking long like this, it's the internet. So here we go. And you'll see this is the blank exercise that you could print or you could download, show on your screen. And you have the memo, which is the answers. So again, in terms of the formatting, if you're not sure and you want to give a verbal instruction to your learners, which of course you can do, is you can have a look at the memo and see exactly how the answers are formatted. So I don't know if that downloaded. Yeah, there it is. There's the memo. It's gone to my downloads. Remember, the learners obviously don't have the memos on their accounts. So here is the answer sheet, and you can see how it should be formatted. There we go. All the answers are in there. Okay, that's your copy. The learner doesn't see that. Okay, so let's assign that quickly. So again, we're going to go to the 29th. You get the idea here. Remember, assign it to your class, and if you're not appearing, then you're not linked correctly. So my class is 4A. I'm going to make this class work. I'm not going to do the description for now. So I'm going to press next. Next, you can see it takes literally 30 seconds, and I'm going to give it 1 option. Okay, so that's another type done. So let's do another one. We're going to go to a different subject. We're going to NS grade 4, and we're going to living and non-living things. And we're going to do what's called a hidden answer. We're going to assign that, and I just want to show you from the learner's perspective some of the important things to remember on a hidden answer. So the one we're looking at is, in fact, exercise 1. Okay, so again, really important, the learner follows the instructions. So what you're looking for in here is either a yes or a no answer in every box, and every box must have a yes or a no in lowercase. So if they put it in uppercase, it is going to be marked incorrectly, okay? Again, you can look at the memo so you understand clearly what the expected answer is there. Let's assign it. Again, exactly the same. You should be getting the hang of this by now. We'll do it so many times, and definitely after this session, you'll want to go and have a go yourself. Okay, sorry, I'm just clicking away here. It's my same class again. Again, obviously, if you're linked to more than one class, you can assign it to a different class as well. I've just got my 4A class here. Next. Okay, it's 50 questions, but it will convert to a percentage, and I'm going to just leave it as one attempt for now. Okay, so that was the hidden answer. Let's go to the multiple choice. Okay, this is straightforward. I'm sure you know what multiple choice is. Sometimes there's 2 options, sometimes there's 3 or 4. So again, you're going to do it exactly the same. You're going to assign it there, the due date, again, 29th, the class. Okay, again, it's my grade 4. And obviously don't do what I'm doing and overload all these kids with homework on the same day. Sure, the parents wouldn't be very happy. You would space it out, I'm sure. By the way, you can only see the work that you've assigned, not other teachers. So always bear that in mind. They might have other work. Okay, so we've done that one as well. We're going to go to the drag and drops, which will also automatically mark. So we're going to grade 4 geography, and we're going to one called the map of South Africa. I'm just showing a few different sections and subjects. So we're going to the map of South Africa. We're going to exercise 2 here. And again, it's exactly the same, the way that you assign it. My content's just loading up, a little bit slow today, internet. So this is a drag and drop. So what they have to do here is they grab hold of the label and they drag it to the correct place on the map. We'll show a few examples of the exercises in the learner's accounts in a minute, but let's assign this. And again, there's nothing different here. So you should be an absolute expert at this by now. Class 4A. Sorry. Assignment type. Oh, I did it in 6 by mistake. Obviously, you can assign it to another class if that's linked to you. Homework. Okay, my internet's a bit slow today, sorry. 1 attempt. Okay, so the other type of exercise I'm going to show you is also drag and drop. It's called a drag and drop grid. I'm just going to show it to you, but I'm not going to assign it because it's just taking me a little bit long. And the one I was going to show you is famous landmarks. Again, assignment will be exactly the same. And all you do here, or all the learner does here, is you take the label and you drag it underneath the block. So you would drag that. I know this is incorrect, but you drag it like that. And then we'll have a look at what happens in the learner account in a minute. Okay, so I haven't assigned that just for the sake of time. Let's go. So far we've looked at all the different types of automatically marked exercises. We're now going to the manually marked ones. So let's go to grade 5 English, and we're reading a short story, and we are going to The Tale of Tom Kitten. Okay, which is a nice Beatrix Potter story. Now, if you have a look with the manually marked, first of all, how do you know it's manually marked? Is because you will see this M with the answer block here, which means that you, the teacher, has to mark it. It's a text-based question. Usually these are the higher order questions, the cognitive levels, they're higher order, and sometimes they might be worth more than 1 mark, especially if it's an assessment. So if you have a look here, all of them are worth 1, apart from the last 2, which is, let's say, a higher order question, and it's been weighted higher. So when you assign it, which is what we're going to do now, you have to assign it as the marks there to get to the total of 15. So it says to you here, note to educator, remember to allocate 2 marks each to the questions, questions 12 and 13 when assigning this exercise. You'll see also the way that the learner completes it is obviously you can print it, but the idea is they do it on screen and you will manually mark it again from the system. And we're going to cover that in the next video. We're not doing the manual marking today. So they will type their answer in here, and they can also make this text box as big as they want. So there's enough to write a whole essay in there if you wanted them to. So let's just quickly assign this one. And here we go. Again, the same thing. I just want to show you the weighting. That's the only different thing here. It's not on all the manually marked ones. So again, it's 4A, assessment. Let's make this homework. And next. Okay, that's the right exercise. Okay, so you see here it says activity 1, which is 11 questions. They're worth 1 mark each. We know that. We've had a look at the exercise. And then activity 2, which is actually questions 12 and 13, are worth 2 marks each. So I now use this arrow key and make them worth 2 marks each, which will bring me to my total of 15. So remember to read the instructions on the manually marked exercises when you assign it. Next. And let's just be nice and give them 2 attempts. Okay, save. Okay, I don't know if that's saved because I can't see my pop-up. You have, okay, let's just save it. I just want to get rid of this. You've already set this an assignment to this class on this date. Okay, I've already done it, so I don't want to duplicate it. In fact, I'm glad this pop-up has come here because I have already assigned this. So it's good to see you can't assign it obviously to the same class on the same day twice. You also, if you make mistakes, you can delete an assignment, and I'm going to show you that on the assignments page in a minute. Okay, let's go to the next type of question. I'm going back to my grade 4 history and history on land. This is another manually marked assessment, and this is what we call a question only. So question only is basically an instruction to the learner. It's the timeline here. And basically you're getting them to draw a timeline and illustrate the timeline. They can't do that on my Cyberwall. They have to do that on a separate sheet of paper. You assign it exactly the same way. And when you put the description in, you can just say, hand it in on a sheet of paper or something like that. You'll also see sometimes on the exercise, this paper clip, which is an attachment. So this one on here, sometimes it's rubrics, sometimes it's the memo. Suggested answer. This one is the suggested answer. Obviously, the learners won't look exactly like this, but this is just obviously a model answer, if you like. It's coming up now, and you could obviously display that on your board as the model answer, but that's what you would be looking for, something similar to that. Okay, so that's all the different types of exercises. We're going to assign an assessment now. So we're going to look at maths, grade 4. We're in term 1 at the moment, and we're going to, if you have a look, let's look at this end of term assessment here. So this is a mixture of automatically and manually marked activities here. So the first part 1 you can see is a true and false. Part 2 is a multiple choice. Part 3, very careful, the learner has to make sure there's a semicolon between each number, and the example of the layout is there. It's a hidden answer. So it has to be, the formatting has to be exact. And then part 4 is, again, be careful here is the note to the educator, allocate 2 marks per question. And part 5 is says to the educator, allocate 3 marks. And these are manually marked questions because they can't all be done on screen. And these are obviously higher order questions as well, problem solving, etc. So the total assessment is worth 25 marks. Let's assign it. So again, exactly the same, but we're going to weight the marks again. So I'm assigning that, and I'm giving it to the same class. I'm going to assign this as an assessment. I'm not going to put the description in. That's my exercise. Okay, here's the scoring. So remember, the first 3 parts of this assessment are automatically marked. We don't need to adjust the scoring. Part 4 is manually marked, and each question is worth 2 marks, so I must make that 4. And part 5, there's 3 questions worth 3 marks each, so I must make this worth 9 marks, and I press next. That will get me to the 25 marks. Okay, I'm done. It's 1 attempt, it's an assessment, so I've saved that. Okay, sorry, I've already saved that. I've already set that, so it's telling me not to duplicate it and to set it on another date. Okay, that's fine, so I've done that. Let's go to my calendar. And let's look at all the things that I've assigned my poor class here. I don't think you can see the bottom of my screen too well. Let me make it a little bit bigger because I've assigned everything here on the 29th. I've got 6 different assessments there. And you will see here that I've got the history ones, I've got the science ones, I've got geography ones. The dots will appear in these different colors here. Okay, so if we have a look here, and you want to, from your account, view that exercise, you can go in and you can view it and you can see the number of attempts allowed as well. Okay, so that's how to do it from the educator's perspective. Let's now go to have a look at the learner's account. So I'm just going to log out and I'm going to go into a learner that I've assigned this for, who's in my 4A class. He is Billboard. So let's log into Billboard, who is a learner. So let's just have a look at the difference. We know it's Billboard's account because his name is appearing at the top there. Let's go to Bill's calendar. And we can see Bill's got a whole bunch of assignments here with all the different colors. And you'll see the ones that I have set on the 29th. Remember, I did duplicate some, which was my mistake. But you can see that he's got 5 assessments set for February 2024, the 29th. And he can easily just click in here and he can start doing them. One other thing, though, you will see is that this bell will be moving, or the learner will see the bell moving like this, which means that some work has been assigned to him or has been marked. So if he wants to get rid of this bell, all he needs to do is click on it and it says you have a new assignment. He can either have a look at it using that eye there, clicking on the eye, or it's in pink now, he can dismiss it and it will turn to white. Poor Bill's got lots here, so I'm not going to dismiss them all, but just to show you how he would do that if he wanted to. So let's go and have a look at all of his assignments. I'm going to go into the 29th. Remember, I didn't put the description in, but if you do, it will show here. So let's go and do a couple of these. We're not going to do all of them. Here is an automatically marked one. Let's do this. So it tells me he hasn't done it yet. So he's going to do it. And I know the answer here, so I'm just going to put one answer in. But basically, he would obviously have to complete it all. And what happens here is you see the buttons at the bottom. All you can see is he can either cancel his answers and redo them or submit. So let's submit. So it tells him he's got 1 out of 8 correct. And you'll see what happens as well is this grey block comes up that says my answers. There we go. And if we have a look at it, this is his answer sheet and it will tell him what he's done right and wrong and what his marks are. So you can see there he's got 1 answer in only. And if you have a look at the bottom, that one has been ticked with a green tick. And the ones that he didn't complete, or if he got them wrong, it would be a red cross. Okay, you're going to be able to see his answer sheet in your account, and we will come to that as well. Let's go back to his calendar. And what you'll notice is that that one has turned to a black dot. So the brown turned to black, which means it has been completed. Sometimes you'll also see, let's look at this one, the 23rd, which was all the 9 assessments that were set to him on assignments on the 23rd. One has turned to grey. Grey, what that means is a manually marked one, and this is the maths one, which means that it was completed on the 23rd, but it hasn't been marked yet, because remember the last 2 parts have to be manually marked by the teacher, and let's say the teacher hasn't done it yet, so it would be in grey. So by the grey and the black, you'll be able to see what he has completed and what he has still got to complete for the 23rd. So anything that's not grey or black, he's still got to do. Okay, let's do another one. Let me take this one. This is, I think, the missing word one. So let's do this. Okay, so here is the missing word. So this is exactly the same, except you're going to see some different buttons here. Now, all of the exercises, apart from the drag and drops and the crosswords, have this save button on them. Save is very different to submit, and learners must watch the learner video and be very clear on the difference between saving and submitting. Submitting means they've finished and they want to get their marks, or they want to send it to the system. Saving means they've run out of time to complete it and they want to come back to it later. So let's just look at this as an example. Let's just say I'm just going to enter a couple of answers in here. Okay, it's not supposed to be in caps, so let's do it correctly. This is obviously wrong what I'm doing, but I'm just putting a couple of things in there. So let's say now he hasn't had time to complete this. He's going to save it. And it tells you as a pop-up that says it's saved successfully. And then let's say he has to now go to English, and he's gone to an English lesson and he's got an assessment to do there. Later on, he wants to go back to that grade for history, that transport on land. Let's go back there. And you'll see here, first of all, what he'll see here is these green blocks around some of these exercises. Now, this shows you that it's been assigned to him. So he will know that this is an assignment. So this was the one we were busy with. Okay, it says this is an assignment, and he can click here as well if he wants to go that way. And it's warning him that it is his last attempt. So if he goes back to it and he thinks, oh no, what's happened? All my answers have disappeared. All he does is press load save, and by magic, you will see his answers will come back up. When he's finished the exercise, which I'm not going to do, he presses submit. So he's finished now, and obviously I've got naught correct. And again, this grey answer block comes up, and we will see that this is his answers, the PDF of his answers, which has been downloaded here. Let's have a look at this. He's obviously got everything wrong, or he didn't complete it. And here's his answer sheet. So on his answer sheet here, on the top left, he can see what his score is, what his percentage is, when he submitted it, when the system marked it. And I've made this a bit bigger, and you can see there is crosses there. This is wrong. It would be a green tick if it was correct. So you'll always know what he got right and what he got wrong. And don't forget, again, just to remind you that learners can practice exercises as much as they like without you assigning them, as long as you don't want to actually record the marks. Okay, so let's just go back to his calendar. We're not going to do any more. So we had a look at quite a lot there. Some of them have turned black because we did them. We don't have any manually marked there. So he has not going to, we're not going to look at the manually marked ones, but we're going to go back to the educator's account now. So let's assume he's done for the day. We're going to go back into the teacher account, and I'm going to log into my account as the educator. And I'm going to the assignments page, and I'm just going to show you the layout of that page. So here's the assignments page. Okay, I'm just going to full screen it using this arrow on the top left here. So you'll see here's all the assignments that have been set, and it's done by due date. So if you have a look at the first column on the left, it's due date, the class that it was set for, the subject, the unit, the module, the exercise, the description if you've written it, whether it's manually marked or auto. And you can see here, there's one here, which is a manual mark. We're not going to do manual marking today, that you'll see in the next video. But if it hasn't got an M, it means it's been automatically marked by the system. You don't need to do anything. And you can have a look here, how many people in the class have completed it. I've only got 2 learners in my 4A class. It's obviously a dummy class, and I can see 1 has completed it. And that was his score. So there's a few things I can do here on the right. I can download the learner's answers. So let's do that. So I'm going to go and have a look. This is my assignment report. It's telling me that Billboard has done it, what his score was, and I can get his PDF here. And More Rain has not done it, and it hasn't been marked. Okay, so you can't obviously download anything there. But let's have a look at Billboard's. And here's his answer sheet exactly as you saw it, with what he got right, what he got wrong, and his marks, etc., all at the top here, and with the ticks and crosses there. So you can see for each learner how they did in that assignment. Okay, the other things, going back to that page, you can have a look at here, and this is where you would do the manual marking from, but we're not doing that. You can download a report on this assignment, so let's do that, and you can export it to Excel. You can also delete it. If you delete an assignment, you can do that, and it's gone from the learner's accounts, but don't reassign the same exercise on the same day, because you're going to have a problem with that. It won't allow you to do that. And there's a reason why we did that, is because educators were getting a little bit confused with assigning, cancelling it, deleting it, adding it back, etc. So if you do want to reassign it, just pick another day. Okay, so I'm going to download the report. I'm going to export it to Excel. And you'll see exactly as I saw in that other screen is the class assignment report, but you can do it in Excel if you wanted to copy and paste the marks in to your mark book or whatever marking system you use. So it's just basic Excel with the percentage and the scores, etc., per learner. The other thing you can do on this assignments page is you can look per learner at how they're doing. Sorry, but before we do that, let's just show you. I didn't show you this search button here. So on the search button, you can You can filter this by the subjects. So let's just say we want to only see the English assessments. Okay, there's none. Only see the history assessments, let's say. You can filter it per grade, per class. You can even search the text to get to more specifics if you wanted to have a look at what your 4A class has been assigned for history, for example. Okay, let's go to the detailed learner report. So I'm going to click on this tab here. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my class in, which is 4A, the name of my learner. I want to look at Billboard. And again, it's everything he's been assigned this year. It's a lot of stuff there. So I'm going to use the filter and I'm going to search here and I'm going to just have a look. You can search by start dates and subjects. I'm going to just do the history because I know there was a lot of them. And you can also hide the ones that have not been submitted. So there's only 4 that he's done here and they've all been marked. You can also hide the ones that are not marked. And this is also something you can get as a PDF report. Let's do that. And you can download it in Excel and copy and paste the marks as well if you want to. So this is the report for history for Billboard, and this is obviously something you could give or send to your parents if you wanted to show you all the work he's been assigned for the term or for the month or whatever, and what his marks are. Okay, so it says his name and the class at the top there. Okay, so those are the assignment reports that you can get. So we've finished now. All I want to do is just to show you in terms of if you need any help is to go to the resources page. And you'll see under the FAQ, we have the user guide and FAQs. Have a look in there, but also in particular under the tutorials. We have an assigning work tutorial, which is a PowerPoint. You can, if you click on the attachment here, you can download the PDF and you can print it if you want to. Otherwise, you can go through it on screen. It's everything we did today, which was how to add an assignment, automatically mark ones, manually mark ones, how to go to the page and look at the scores and get the reports, etc. The one other thing I didn't show you is you also have a bell here in your account. I personally would ignore that if I was you, because this shows you when people have submitted and you're going to get lots of these. I would just dismiss that if you want to, but otherwise just ignore it. Okay, it has actually stopped now, so I only had 2 that hadn't dismissed. But yeah, you don't really need to worry about that. Okay, so that's the extra resources, and you always log out at the end of the session, and you can also just go to our YouTube channel as well. I'm just going to quickly show you that. So if you go to YouTube and you go to the educator playlist, you will see a recording of this session, which is assigning work. If you need to play it back, you can do so. And obviously, if you need any help at all, let me just find the playlist. So I'm going to go to the playlist. I'm going to go to the educator playlist. We do have videos for learners. And as I said to you, if you are assigning work to learners, I strongly recommend that your learners watch the part 2 video of how to do the exercises and assignments, which is in the playlist for learners. But your playlist is here, the educators, and you can go to the assigning work one, which is here, and it will play this recording. This is an old one here. I'm not going to play it now. Okay, so we're done now. So all you need to do is you need to practice doing assignments before you attend the session or watch the session on the manual marking, which we will be doing next week. Then please have a go at assigning. Make sure you're linked to your classes. I'm sure you're going to find it really, really quick and easy to do. I'm just going to stop sharing and come back to the room and say goodbye to you. And thank you very much for attending. And we'll see you for manual marking. Thank you.